the Big Ten is looking at moving away from divisions, dropping down to 8 games, and then potentially by 2023 starting the kind of alliance scheduling bonanza, which would just be Big Ten versus Pac-12 or ACC non-conference games, the way to kind of isolate, if you will, if we're on the isolation. They're going to put the SEC in an isolation chamber. Yeah. Their isolation chamber is a palace.
Yeah.
But get rid of divisions and then go to 8 games. So and start the alliance. I have a couple thoughts. I'm going to give you a couple things to react to, Pat.
Okay.
One, if we get rid of the divisions, then we have to what is the Big Ten opposing the playoff? Because we have been told that the Big Ten is against, they want 5 automatic bids, 1 for them and the other 5 of the other 4 major conferences, and then 1 for the group of 5, opposed to the top 6. If you get rid of divisions, I think last year you might have had a Ohio State Michigan rematch in Indianapolis. So you're pretty much guaranteeing that if there's just no way the Big Ten champion, if they're not geographically, if there aren't geographic bits to it, wouldn't be one of the top 6 conference champs. I mean, it's just impossible. So you've literally eliminated your opposition to the playoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll start with that. Then we'll get into the scheduling for this. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how far the Big Ten has thought it through, or whether the Big Ten is necessarily even aligned with its commissioner in that thinking. I don't know whether he's speaking for himself or he's speaking for the league on terms of his resistance to the current playoff proposed 12-team setup. But if you do eliminate divisions in a conference where the divisions are very much misaligned in terms of strength, I'm not sure how much that helps you, other than it makes your championship game more significant. But I don't think, do you want a rematch of Ohio State, Michigan? Wow. Do those fans want it? I mean, one of the great things about that game last year and in many years is it is winner take all to a degree. Are you in the national championship or not? Are you winning the division or not? There is massive stakes. And if you roll it back and play it again a week later in Indianapolis, I think you lose a lot of the impact of what that game is in the regular season.
It would be a huge impact. This is, I think, what's always been the opposition is that, and this is why you want your arch rivalry to be in your division, right? So Alabama, Auburn plays, and it's not just, there's a bragging right to it, right? It's a cocktail party, whatever it is. Like you get a year of bragging,
right?
That's college football. Like we won, you lost, and there ain't anything you can do about it for 364 days. You just got to sit there and take it.
Yep.
And so when you run that risk of giving that up, particularly a week later, because if you're a Michigan fan and you finally beat Ohio State and you storm the field like they did, and it's not like, oh, we got to play these guys again next week and we just gave away our game plan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that is a huge problem for it. At the same time, in the Big Ten, you have this incredibly lopsided East where you have Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan State. Certainly, I would say 4 of the top 5 programs, if you give Wisconsin wherever you want to rank them in, and they may be 4th or they may be 5th. Then if you go non-divisions, you have to have certain every year opponent, right? You want Michigan. Yeah. Michigan will play Ohio State, Michigan State, and then you have to probably give them an easier game. Right. As I guess Minnesota, because they have the little brown jug. But you lose like the Michigan Penn State game a lot, or you lose Ohio State Penn State. I don't know. Like there's a lot goes into it if you get rid of the division. Divisions aren't good, but there are certain aspects of them that are good.
Yeah.
And it's a big risk.
It is. And one of the obviously one of the overarching issues here is conferences have gotten too big to play round robin. That's why we have divisions. But there is something to be said for being a division champion that you would lose. Like Wisconsin, it's a big deal for Wisconsin when they win the division championship. It was a big deal for Iowa this last year when they won the division championship. It was a really big deal for Missouri when they won the SEC East. You lose that, okay, you're taking away more chances to hang a hat on something for these programs.